The Tempest by William Shakespeare.
Chapter 1. The Island. Here is Prospero, the Duke of Milan, with his wife and daughter Miranda. When his wife dies, Prospero sees nobody. Some women look after Miranda.
I'm learning magic,
Prospero tells his brother, Antonio.
Look after Milan for me.
Antonio soon feels angry.
I'm doing Prospero's work,
he thinks.
I want to be the Duke.
One day, Antonio goes to visit Alonso, the King of Naples. Alonso says to him,
I don't like Prospero. Open the gates of Milan to me, and I can attack him. Then you can be the Duke of Milan. Go on! Do it, Antonio!
says Sebastian, the king's brother. Gonzalo, Prospero's old friend in Naples, walks past and listens. So Antonio opens the gates of Milan to King Alonso. They put Prospero and Miranda in a little boat and leave them far out at sea. In the boat, Prospero finds a letter from Gonzalo.
Dear Prospero, here are some things for you. Gonzalo.
And Prospero finds things to eat, drink, and wear. And his magic book, too.
Good old Gonzalo. What a true friend,
he thinks. The little boat moves across the sea to a magic island. The monster, Caliban, is king of the island. His mother is dead, and he has no friends. Different magic spirits live on the island, too. They don't like Caliban. One of these spirits is Ariel. He helps Prospero and Miranda. At first, Prospero is friendly to Caliban.
Come and live with my daughter and me,
he says. Prospero teaches Caliban to speak, and Caliban shows Prospero everything on the island. But one night, Caliban attacks Miranda.
Get out of here,
says Prospero angrily.
You must work for me now.
Now Miranda is nearly 16, and Prospero is king of the island. One day, Prospero sees a ship near his island. By magic, he can see King Alonso and Antonio, his brother, on the ship. When Prospero sees them, he is very angry. He calls Ariel to him. Chapter 2. The Tempest.
There is a ship near my island.
Prospero tells Ariel.
Make a magic storm and attack the ship. The men on the ship must not die,
says Prospero.
they must land on the island. The king's son, Ferdinand, must land alone.
So Ariel goes to the ship and makes a tempest with wind and rain. On the ship, King Alonso and his son, Ferdinand, are afraid. They ask God for help.
Help! We're going down!
Cries the captain.
I don't want to die at sea,
Cries old Gonzalo, Prospero's friend.
Let's die with King Alonso!
Says Prospero's brother, Antonio.
No! Let's leave the ship and live!
Says Sebastian, Alonso's brother. Ferdinand is the first to jump into the water and swim away. On the island, Miranda runs to Prospero.
Father, please stop this storm.
She says,
People are dying in the cold sea.
Don't be afraid.
he tells her.
It's a magic storm. No one is dying.
Then, by magic, Miranda goes to sleep. And Ariel tells Prospero,
The men on the ship are alive, but sleeping. And their ship is not far from here, in a river.
And what about the men in the sea?
asks Prospero.
They are in different parts of the island now.
Answers Ariel.
And Prince Ferdinand is alone.
Good work.
Says Prospero.
Now, go to Ferdinand and sing to him. Bring him here, to me.
Yes, master.
Says Ariel. After Ariel goes, Miranda opens her eyes and gets up. Prospero and Miranda speak to Caliban.
Bring us wood for a fire.
They say,
Okay.
says Caliban. He is angry with Prospero. He wants his island back again. Chapter 3. Prince Ferdinand. Ariel sings to Prince Ferdinand.
Your father is dead.
Oh, my father?
Cries Ferdinand. Ferdinand can hear Ariel, but he can't see him.
Where's that music coming from?
He thinks, and he follows it. Ariel brings Ferdinand to Prospero and Miranda.
What do you think of that, young man?
Asks Prospero.
He's wonderful.
Says Miranda.
My plan is working.
Thinks Prospero, and he smiles. Ferdinand sees Miranda.
She's beautiful.
He thinks.
Are you a goddess?
He asks.
I'm a woman.
She answers.
Who are you?
Asks Prospero.
The King of Naples.
Says Ferdinand.
What? Your father is the king?
Says Prospero angrily.
My father is dead. Everyone from our ship is dead.
Cries Ferdinand.
So I am the king now.
Miranda looks at Ferdinand.
Why is my father angry with him?
She thinks. Ferdinand looks at Miranda.
I want to marry you.
He thinks.
They're in love.
Thinks Prospero.
But when you get something easily, it's not important for you. I must make things more difficult for them.
Prospero speaks to Ferdinand.
You aren't a king or a prince.
He cries.
You're a spy. You want to take my island from me.
That's not true!
Cries Ferdinand.
Father, what's the matter with you?
Cries Miranda.
He's a good man.
Be quiet, daughter. Don't speak to him. He's a spy. Here are chains for you to wear,
Says Prospero.
You can't put me in prison.
Says Ferdinand. And he takes his sword in his hand.
My magic is stronger than your sword.
Says Prospero.
Now you are my prisoner.
I'm happy to be in prison here,
Thinks Ferdinand. And he looks at Miranda.
because now I can see more of her.
I don't understand.
Says Miranda to the prince quietly.
My father is usually nicer than this.
Ariel, come here. I have more work for you.
Says Prospero. Chapter 4. The King and the Duke. King Alonso, Gonzalo, Antonio, and Sebastian are in a different part of the island,
What a green island.
says Gonzalo.
Very green.
Laughs Antonio. And he and Sebastian look down at the yellow ground under their feet and smile,
Stop laughing.
says Alonso.
My son is dead.
He cries,
We don't know that.
says Gonzalo.
Perhaps he's here on the island.
Ariel comes to them. They can't see him, but they can hear his magic music. When Alonso and Gonzalo go to sleep, Antonio says to Sebastian,
Now Ferdinand is dead. You can be king when Alonso dies. So, shall I kill him for you?
Yes.
says Sebastian.
And let's kill Gonzalo too. Then he can't talk.
Wake
Sings Ariel. And Gonzalo wakes up. He sees Sebastian and Antonio with their swords in their hands.
What are you doing?
He cries,
Wake up, Alonso!
Can you hear those strange noises?
says Sebastian quickly.
There are animals on this island. We must be ready for them.
I can hear something.
Says Gonzalo.
Let's all take out our swords.
I can't hear any noises.
Says Alonso.
Let's look for Ferdinand. I must find him, dead or alive.
So Alonso, Gonzalo, Sebastian and Antonio walk through the forest and look for Ferdinand. Soon they feel tired and hungry,
Let's kill them tonight.
says Antonio.
All right.
Says Sebastian. Some good spirits put nice things to eat on a magic table for them.
Come and eat.
Say the spirits. They sit down at the table hungrily. But before they can start eating, Ariel arrives. Suddenly, the food goes from in front of their eyes. Alonso, Sebastian, and Antonio take out their swords.
You fools!
Laughs Ariel.
My friends and I are spirits. You cannot attack us with swords. Antonio, Alonso, Sebastian.
Cries Ariel.
Do you remember, Prospero? When you do bad things happen to you. Alonso,
Says Ariel.
your son is dead. This pays for your past crimes.
When Ariel goes, Alonso cries out.
What's the matter?
Asks Gonzalo.
Ferdinand is dead to pay for my crimes against Prospero.
Says Alonso.
I want to die.
Alonso runs away into the forest, and Gonzalo, Sebastian, and Antonio follow him. Chapter 5. Lovers and Fools. Ferdinand carries wood into Prospero's cave, and Miranda watches him.
Stop working
She says.
and sit down for a minute.
Ferdinand sits down.
What's your name?
He asks.
Miranda,
She says. And then she remembers her father's words.
oh no. I can't talk to him.
Miranda,
Says Ferdinand.
I love you, and I want to marry you.
I love and want to marry you.
Cries Miranda happily. Prospero listens.
So, true love meets true love.
He smiles.
My plan is working well.
In a different part of the island, Caliban is angry.
Here I am, carrying wood for Prospero.
He says.
Me, the true king of this island. Oh no, it's one of the master spirits, and it's coming for me. I'm sorry, Prospero. Forget my bad words. Please, don't attack me.
But it's only Trinculo, the king's fool. He looks at Caliban.
What's this?
He says.
Is it a fish?
Go away.
Cries Caliban from under his raincoat. It begins to rain. Trinculo gets under the raincoat with Caliban. Then Stefano arrives. He is King Alonso's butler and Trinculo's friend. He is drinking wine and singing.
Don't attack me, master.
Says Caliban.
Oh! Oh!
Cries Trinculo. He is afraid too.
Attack you?
Says Stefano.
You strange monster with two heads? Of course not.
And he gives Caliban some wine. Under the raincoat, Trinculo listens carefully.
Is that you, Stefano?
He asks. Trinculo comes out from under the raincoat.
Oh, I'm happy to see you.
He says to Stefano.
And I'm happy to see you.
Says Stefano. Caliban watches them. He is surprised.
Come with me.
Says Caliban.
I can show you everything on this island.
Trinculo and Stefano follow him. After some time, they sit down.
Give me more wine,
says Caliban.
Here you are, you strange fishy monster,
says Stefano. Caliban drinks.
You can be the king of this island,
he says.
King of this island?
Says Stefano, surprised.
How?
Prospero is the king now, but I hate him.
Says Caliban.
Go on, kill him when he's sleeping, and throw his magic book in the fire. Then you can be the king.
Suddenly, they hear Ariel's strange music, but they can't see him.
Don't be afraid,
says Caliban.
There's strange music all over the island.
I'm not afraid.
Says Trinculo.
Let's follow that music now and kill Prospero later.
So Caliban, Trinculo and Stefano follow the music. Chapter 6. Happy Endings.
I'm sorry to treat you badly.
Prospero tells Ferdinand.
You and my daughter want to marry, I know. And I'm happy for the two of you. Look after her, Ferdinand. And now, the goddesses of the island are here to sing for you on this happy day.
Smiles Prospero. The goddesses, Iris, Juno and Ceres, sing, and the island spirits dance. Everyone feels happy. Suddenly, Ariel arrives and speaks quietly in Prospero's ear.
Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo are coming to kill you,
he says. Prospero stops the singing and dancing, and Ferdinand and Miranda go into the cave. Then, Prospero gives Ariel some expensive clothes.
Put these in front of Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo,
he says. Ariel takes them away. When Stefano and Trinculo see the clothes, they stop thinking about Prospero.
This is a beautiful coat for a king,
says Stefano.
Very nice,
says Trinculo.
Leave those clothes,
cries Caliban.
We must kill Prospero first.
Prospero calls some spirit dogs. The dogs attack Stefano, Trinculo and Caliban, and they run away, afraid. By magic, Antonio, Alonso, Sebastian and Gonzalo arrive in front of Prospero.
Well, how shall I treat these prisoners?
Prospero asks Ariel.
Are they sorry for their past crimes?
Yes, they are,
says Ariel.
Now, get my duke's clothes,
he tells Ariel.
and bring their ship here. Soon, you can be free.
yes, master.
Says Ariel. Prospero's prisoners wake up.
Prospero!
They cry. They are very surprised when they see him.
Thank you for helping me in Milan, Gonzalo.
Smiles Prospero. Then he turns to Antonio and Sebastian.
I know your bad hearts.
He says darkly.
Now, Antonio, my brother, you must give Milan back to me. You're not the Duke of Milan, you know.
Ah, Prospero, my son is dead.
Cries Alonso.
And my daughter is lost, too.
Says Prospero.
My son. And your daughter. Oh, my heart is breaking.
Says Alonso.
The two of them are dead.
Wait a minute.
Says Prospero. And with a smile, he shows Ferdinand to Alonso.
My lost son is alive.
Says Alonso.
Father, this is Miranda, Prospero's daughter.
Says Ferdinand.
I want to marry her.
Very well, my son. I agree.
Says Alonso.
The ship is here, Master.
Says Ariel.
My good spirit.
Says Prospero. Next, Ariel brings Caliban, Trinculo, and Stefano in chains to Prospero.
Oh, Master. I am sorry for following these two fools.
Says Caliban at Prospero's feet.
My butler and my fool.
Says Alonso.
Get back on the ship.
He tells them. And they go at once.
Now, King Alonso,
Says Prospero.
come into my cave. There we can talk, and you can sleep. And tomorrow we can go to Naples with your son and my daughter. And then I can go back to Milan.
He thinks.
Good work, Ariel.
Says Prospero.
And now, goodbye. Give our ship a good wind tomorrow, and then you can go free.
Goodbye, Master.
Says Ariel. Now Prospero is alone.
Goodbye, my magic book.
He says, and he throws it into the sea. Then he breaks his magic stick in two and throws it far down into the ground.
Now I'm a man with no magic to help me.
Says Prospero.
But I am the Duke of Milan again, and I can go home happily.
And with those words, Prospero goes into the cave.